You come on in, you get something to eat, you get a free drink. Could be a lemonade, could be cool frosty.
There are also long-standing issues that are often called the root causes of immigration. We are looking at the issue of poverty, the lack, therefore, of economic opportunities, extreme weather conditions, and the lack of climate adaptation, indigenous people, LGBTQ people, and Afro-descendants.
I don't care if I'm fully vaccinated. Until I see Dr. Fauci himself making out with a stranger, my mask is staying on.
I am among the fully vaccinated, and I did go jogging today in the park. This was the mask that I wore with a doctor's mask under it.
Psychos to the left of me, weirdos to the right. They're everywhere. Omnipresent, Alice. What's another word for omnipresent? I hear this word all the time.
Ubiquitous?
Ubiquitous, yes.
One's a Latin root and one's a Greek root.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Actually, that might be a lie. Omni might be Latin, too. Let me double check.
Well, you please do double check, Alice. I'm going to hold everything up until we get the answer to this situation. All right, here we go.
Yes, also Latin. Omni means all, and ubi means where in Latin. You have an echo on my voice, by the way. I can hear it, yes.
Oh, there it is. What do you know? And also, once again, we both coming out off soft in the initial recording, and I was soft today. Or was today Cullinane? That was yesterday with Cullinane. Today I was on WTIC, where I'll be tomorrow, where we talked about, we'll start off the mask craziness with in Hartford, Connecticut, with Governor Ned Lamont, as a matter of fact, who lets everybody know, just as Joe Biden did, just as Dr. Fauci did, that masks are no longer required, with the exception of the fact that you have to wear a mask. Right. Other than that, they're no longer required. So you don't have to wear a mask outside whatsoever at all anymore, unless there are other people around. And you don't have to wear a mask inside unless you're inside. And this is essentially what Ned Lamont said.
Connecticut stands that if you're outside, you've been vaccinated, just like Joe Biden said, you don't need to wear the mask. If you're in a crowded area where you're not quite sure who you're standing next to, wear the mask a little bit longer.
It went and it's back. And that is that. And so this is what we're doing here. This is what we're doing. We played the audio last night of Rochelle. We did, right?
Yes, we played Rochelle Walensky.
Of Rochelle Walensky and Bashara as well from HHS, both saying, no, you still have to wear the mask because you could... other people may see you not wearing a mask. They may not be vaccinated, and they may want to take the mask off. And so that's where we are. But what makes me... What makes me more concerned are, not even concerned. I don't even know. I mean, full of hate, angry, befuddled, I guess, is the people who want to wear their masks. The people who, this is not, right. This is no longer a tangible, existential consideration for these people. Mm-hmm. This is a spiritual consideration.
Yes.
And it's nuts. And Savannah Guthrie spoke to Dr. Fauci today, and what she said, and I don't want you to give it away, Alice, because I didn't get it when you were telling me about, when you were saying, when you pointed me to what the big point of this interview was. To me, it was Fauci being insane, as he usually is.
Which he was also.
Right. So listen to this. This is Savannah Guthrie. I think she's MSNBC. And she's got, oddly enough, Dr. Fauci was available for an interview, so she spoke to him today.
You know, it sets up a strange situation, especially when you start talking about kids. I'll tell you a story. I walked to pick up my little girl at the bus stop yesterday after the CDC recommendations came out. I took off my mask. I waited for her. There was no one else around. She got off the bus with her little mask on. She had to wear her mask. I didn't on the walk home. When are kids going to be able to take off those masks and play outside at the playground?
You know, that's going to be the same thing that I mentioned a moment ago. It's going to be a situation, well, first of all, kids will ultimately wind up getting vaccinated, but you want to have some activity in that direction before they do. High school kids will likely get vaccinated as we get into the fall term, and children of any age will likely...
So my takeaway while listening to this was that that Fauci is nuts, obviously, and he just can't stop himself. He cannot stop himself from clinically steering her towards his maniacal, regulations, his considerations, and all these guidelines. He can't stop. Masks, minimal, it's a risk, and this and that, and the green chart and this. He can't. She's saying a very human thing. How come my kid has to wear the mask and I don't? And he just can't stop himself. Well, if she's this and that and this.
Be vaccinated by the time we get to the end of the year. But let's not talk about the end of the year. Let's talk about the immediate or intermediate future. When children are out in the community, when you have 30, 40, 50,000 new infections per day, they are unvaccinated now because children can't get vaccinated now. And for that reason, they are more at risk of getting infected because they are out in the community where there is a
more at risk. How much risk? Not much risk.
Lot of infection. When the community level starts to go way down, the risks to everybody, including the children, is going to be dramatically diminished.
But isn't it a weird situation because I'm not fully vaccinated yet? I can take off my mask and walk home. She can't. Like, doesn't that just point up that these CDC guidelines, there's some kind of disconnect if that's the situation?
Remember, she said, I'm allowed to walk home without a mask. She can't, she says about her daughter.
Situation.
Well, yeah, what you're pointing out, what you're referring to, Savannah, is the top two not fully vaccinated that people can go out without masks if you walk, run with members of your household, attend a small outdoor gathering, fully vaccinated with friends. Then after that, everything has a mask on it, as you're showing correctly now on the screen. So what you're asking, if you are on the left-hand part and you see unvaccinated people,
he's showing his green chart now, which he's very excited about.
Your household, and you're asking now if your child is a member of your household, can you walk outdoors with your child without a mask? According to that chart, the answer is yes.
But the child can't, not to beat it to death.
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
So according to that chart, the child can't. So she asked Fauci why it is that her kid comes home with the mask and has to have the mask home while they walk home, but Guthrie doesn't. And she feels bad that her kid is walking home, and she's not. Now, she's not fully vaccinated either, and either is a kid. So, it's kind of odd. It seems like she caught on to a big inconsistency there within the guidelines, that she should be able to walk without being fully vaccinated, but the kid can't. Now, what Alice pointed me to was that that's not the point of that audio at all. The point is, let your kid walk without a freaking mask. The point is, are you kidding me? How come my kid still can't walk without the mask? Yes, just take the mask off your kid. What are you listening to? Who are you listening to? Why are you doing this to these people, to your kid? Oh, I'm sorry, you can't take your mask off, honey, but there's somebody somewhere wants me to. There's no way that my kids don't walk around with masks unless they're in a business. No way. Are you kidding me? What a cruel abuser this woman is. Allowing the state to abuse her kid? It is remarkable and astounding. And she doesn't think that it's even possible because Lord King Fauci said so. Because the CDC says so. Even though they've been on every side of every damn issue, she says so that she won't she won't remove the obstruction to her daughter's breathing in smell. It's crazy that the state is telling us to do this stuff and saying, "Oh no, I'm sorry." And Fauci doesn't just say. He could have just said, "Oh, you know what? If you guys were walking home and it's not a huge group, just let her wear without a mask." Nope. It has to be stringent guidelines. Stringent. Can be no alleviation whatsoever. It's insanity, and cruelty. It's actually, I wrote my Substack is about kind of this today because I'm shortly going to softball where the kids have to wear a mask. Now, softball is a little different than, first of all, it's both, they have to, is no good anyway, and hopefully that'll change. Maybe that'll change now. But it's a little different than walking home from school and the sidewalk. I mean, that is ridiculous. And Alice, I was just saying, I let the cat out of the bag. I did have your big observation, but that they did find an inconsistency here with the fact that mom's allowed to wear without the mask, even though she's not vaccinated, but the kid can't because the kid's not vaccinated. But you brought up the big point. That how the frig is it possible? This person probably lives in a beautiful neighborhood, in a beautiful house. Everybody in the house is the mom's college educated, dad's college educated. They drive the right car. They have the right lawn signs. And she can't think to overrule some bureaucrat in D.C.?
Yeah, no, my kid's not allowed to go out without a mask outside. So as we walk home from the bus stop, I'll take my mask off because that's allowed, but I'm going to keep my kid with their mask on as we walk home, just the two of us from the bus stop. It's unbelievable to me that as a parent you would do that. Like with no one else by you. Like, no, Fauci's not there. He's not going to see. You know, you can just let your kid take off the mask. It's okay.
I don't even know what to say. It is remarkable. Remarkable. And that's so scary. It's like, how many people are doing this? Like I keep mentioning that we've got people that we know who don't let their kids play with each other, but they play across the street from each other. So they're virtually playing near each other. That's crazy. But to walk next to your daughter, what else are you going to let the state do? Seriously, how else are you going to let the state tamper with your kid? This is crazy. These are not gods, the CDC and Fauci and these morons. These are not gods. These are not deities of any kind. These are not emperors. You don't listen to them. They don't own.
You don't have to let Fauci tell you what to do in the privacy of your own home or just walking down the street with your kid. There's no rule making you do that. Sicko. But they're all these people. All of these, the absolute coastal elite media people. They're all the same. They're all proud of it.
I am among the fully vaccinated, joined Team Pfizer, and I did go jogging today in the park. This was the mask that I wore with a doctor's mask under it. And most of the people that I saw that were in the park was packed. I would say like 95% of the people still had masks on. There are people who are getting really upset about that. I won't name them.
That's Joy Reid. That is a psycho. Today's show is about psychos and weirdos, and they're everywhere. That person is a psychotic. Fauci is a crazy person. Savannah Guthrie is a weirdo. These people are nuts, and they are in good company all over. And we should actually talk about or name as a benchmark the handful of crazy TikTok trout we pull out of the trap every morning, and there's a few of them today. TikTok, Lucy Q.
If you are in public or in the hot tub, it's still important to wear a mask, even if you are twice vaccinated.
So, yes, she's a person in a hot tub, not an ideal person in a hot tub. Fine, either am I. This thing where you use rhythm or the water to make a point.
Well, the twice vaccinated, they've invented now an American Sign Language sign for twice vaccinated, where you like do an X with your arms twice or something. So that's like been all over TikTok, the like twice vaccinated sign language to show that's her thing. But yeah, she's literally sitting in a hot tub wearing a mask in a hot tub.
Right, and she's lecturing us, and you need to wear. Everybody has to add some sound effect for accentuation or whatever it is for effect now. So you need to understand. You're a psycho. You're a bathtub psycho, and I don't want you anywhere near me whatsoever.
I don't care if I'm fully vaccinated. Until I see Dr. Fauci himself making out with a stranger, my mask is staying on.
That is a person who's under 25 years old who is already dead in the brain. That person is finished with life. She's 25 and gone. A person who thinks like that at that age is a miserable bottom-feeding organism who will never find joy and will only thrive off of misery and darkness.
Can you imagine like needing the government that badly to tell you what to do?
I thought kids were supposed to be rebellious. I thought teens and young people were supposed to be rebellious. Don't trust anybody over 30. Fauci is 97 years old.
And makes $400,000. I thought we were eating the rich, too.
Yeah.
But no. He makes $400,000, and he's old, and he's worked for the government his entire life, so he must be brilliant. And we cannot do anything that he doesn't tell us to do. I mean, that actually seemed almost like Was that a she or a he? I don't even know.
Cannot be determined.
Okay, well, they, it seems like they have a more stringent mask guideline now than the government does.
Right.
The government's now telling me I can take my mask off, but I don't believe it. And I've seen some people say that this is dangerous, that they're telling people they can go around without masks outside. How do I know if the people without masks outside are vaccinated or not?
How disappointing is that you've got a generation of such strong, raw conformists that they're conforming to dictates that aren't even operative anymore.
Right.
That's over.
There's going to come a time once the virus has gone down enough when there's going to be literally no virus and the government's going to be like, it's okay to do stuff now.
Right.
And the people are going to be like, no.
No, it's going to be like
we have to keep wearing masks.
Closing credits of Ferris Bueller's Day Off. It's going to be like, go home.
To keep wearing masks.
Go home now. No, we're going to stay here and watch more. It's craziness. These are the people following Forrest Gump while he's running. Now go.
Yeah.
Go find lives now, okay?
Yeah, the pandemic's over, so your purpose in life, which is to wear a mask every day, all the time, as religiously as possible, you need to find a new one because that one's over now. That one no longer has any meaning. This is a finite thing, this mask wearing. I mean, you'll see people say this too. They'll be like, allergy season has been great now that I'm wearing a mask. I'm going to do it every allergy season. I'm going to do it every flu season. We should just normalize wearing masks all the time. It's great. These are people who are
trying
not
to out
okay.
Fauci.
Yeah.
If you have a child who's doing that, by the way, it's called Whispering Meadows. There's one in every state. They get to hold the ball and talk about what's going through their hearts and minds, and they get to go out in the balcony, the porch, and knit maybe. And the orderlies will bring them a warm blanket if you need to, and they have to eat stuff out of a tiny cup that's pleated for some reason.
Hello, friends. The Lesbian Snow White here.
Oh, no. There's another one. At least, so this is what they'll go back to. Mm-hmm. Once the ones that do peel away from the pandemic will go back to lecturing, spending their time lecturing us on social media. And I want to say it was something else, Alice, that I consider very sexist.
Okay.
I have watched, and we've played a lot of these TikTok movies. I have not, and all of them are somebody lecturing us and browbeating us about something that we are doing wrong, doing it with this odd meter and inflection way of talking that makes me, of course, want to strangle them.
Well, and the weird little TikTok cuts.
Right.
It's like a weird cut, and it creeps me.
And it's a very, it
makes me feel like everybody's like thinking in tiny sound bites.
It's supposed to be extremely sophisticated in a TikTok-y way, that they're the cutting edge, you know?
Yeah.
This is something I've noticed. I'm going to say that this is very sexist, Alice. I have not seen a lecturer, somebody who browbeats and lectures and what's the word? It sounds like haggers. Nags is another word that's just like that. I have not seen one of them who is beautiful. There has been no ravishingly beautiful TikToker.
I thought the one in the car who was complaining that Texas was going to kill everybody because they lifted their mask mandate, she was kind of pretty, no?
She was cute and lovely. She was not she was normal looking enough that she's probably got
she's in the top 1% of TikTokers.
Right. No, maybe the woman who said I wore a mask while pregnant.
Oh, well, she's an actress.
She's an actress. Maybe she.
Sophie Turner from Game of Thrones. I wore a mask while giving birth.
It seems to me that the ravenously beautiful don't spend a whole lot of time. Well, actresses are different because in Hollywood it's different.
Right.
These are people with deep issues. I'm going to make it my job, my whole goal in life to make people love me and want me, and I'm going to wear a beautiful gown in front of people as they take pictures of me and soak it in, and that makes me mean something. That brings meaning to my life. That's a gaping hole in one's soul. That's something else.
Right.
But I found that ravishingly beautiful women on social media generally are not spending their time doing this. They are spending their time enjoying life.
Right.
More so. Or at least they're not doing this. I don't know. Maybe it's the name. You can say it about the men. I don't know. Not too many men. I don't know. Do men do a lot of this?
Well, there was like the kid that sang the Fauci, give us vaccines.
Oh.
He wasn't cute.
He needs a battery of shrinks too, though. That's a different thing. All right, so let's go to lesbian Snow White, who absolutely does not need any mental health assistance.
Hello, friends. It's the lesbian Snow White here, aka the pronoun gal, and I'm here to tell you how to use no pronouns in sentences.
She's here to tell us something. What a shock that she's available to lecture us. I'm here to tell you because I assume I already know all of you, know your capacity for learning and knowledge already, and I can read your heart and minds. So I'm here to tell you. Who the heck is here to tell you? That person sucks. My God, I spent an inordinate amount of time in my 20s and even 30s at bars.
Uh-huh.
And, I had a local bar, the Hub Pub or the Red Hat, whatever. If somebody came in there and said, by the way, I'm here to tell, that would last for a nanosecond before they'd be telling the sidewalk outside because they would be ejected. Nobody likes that person. Who the frig wants that person in their life? I'm going to get lectured by some frigging know-nothing with a hugely inflated self-esteem. God, just have a frigging... Be a normal teenage girl with friggin' self-doubts and eating disorders.
So let's go. Oh dear, and even if you haven't heard of anybody not using any pronouns, that doesn't mean that they don't exist. It just means that you haven't heard of anybody not using them. But here I am to teach you how to not use them.
I don't even know, what part of Planet Klector 6 I'm on now. What am I supposed to be doing? What am I doing wrong, lesbian Snow White? And what do you want? First of all, lesbian Snow White, what are we talking about?
Lesbian Snow White is talking about that, some people like he, him pronouns, and some people like she, her pronouns, and some people choose sie, zim, zer, and some people want the pronouns they.
What is,
Sometimes,
hold on.
Right.
Alice, I'm now angry with you.
Okay.
What is Z in Zim?
So some non-binary people
That's not even a word.
Mm-hmm.
That's onomatopoeia.
So some non-binary people like to use z, zim, zer.
Oh, do they like to?
Yes, they do. And
you know what else? Going forward,
it's like non-binary people that use the honorific mix, MX, instead of Mr. or Ms. They like to be Mix Thomas Shettig.
Where do these people hang out?
with lesbian Snow White, apparently. So, but her point is that there's some people that don't want you to use any pronouns to refer to them at all.
Oh, I see. So pronouns are both very necessary, crucial, and life and death, and also extremely volatile, dangerous in life and death.
Right. So those people, any pronoun you use
How
for
many
them
fucking issues must you have if you've gone beyond a light year galaxy past Z and Zer, where you already need to be institutionalized, and now are at a place where you now are hurt by somebody not using pronouns?
So you're hurt if anybody uses any pronoun for you. Any pronoun that someone uses for you is the wrong pronoun and is dead naming you. It hurts you if somebody misgenders you by using literally any pronoun. So that seems like that would be hard to do, to never refer to anybody with a pronoun.
And
fortunately, we have lesbian Snow White here to give us some examples of how we can refer to somebody without using any pronouns.
So her new cause celeb is pushing back again. Talk about a niche. I have a friend. Her name's Lesbian Snow White. No, don't worry. That's not the biggest problem with her. This is important, guys. She's really passionate about defending people who don't want to be referred to, whether you're with them or not with them. I guess you wouldn't be with them if you're referring to them, but you still can't refer to them using any kind of pronoun. Also, they would like, when you speak about them, they would like you to stop using commas and semicolons, please, or else they are harmed. Okay? And also don't capitalize anything when you speak. All lowercase. Thank you. And also, use the old for S's, use F's, like in the Constitution. The U.S. Congress. How couldn't this be possible that this is... How do you get out of your own fucking way? I mean, sorry. That's the second time I'm sworn. I swore back there, too. I forgot to get it. It's probably back there somewhere.
But yeah, so it's a sign our society has jumped the shark, I think, pretty much.
And then somebody, to believe this is one thing, and obviously you belong in a padded room if this is what you believe, and that's fine. But then to record yourself espousing this belief system, and then to have a shitty attitude doing it, are there nobody aware parents? This person needs to not be able to hurt themselves with their own arms. They need to be in a straitjacket in a padded room. Instead, these are TikTok celebs now. Mm-hmm. And they suck. I mean, it's okay. And insane can be fun. Mm-hmm. Charles Manson, yes, a homicidal maniac, although he had other people do the killing. At least he had an interesting personality. He'd go off on crazy tangents and during interviews, and he'd jump up and down a lot of times, and he was a wacky, insane psycho. But you know what? He never did that. This is worse. I'm sorry. This is worse. Because she's a jerk. Charlie just stores you with a stupid face. Mm-hmm. I may not be right on the merits in that one. But I'm glad I said it. Okay, so let's go. She's not done.
She hasn't given you her examples yet of how you refer to someone with no pronouns.
Okay, we'll continue. This is Lesbian Snow White telling us there's a new rule, by the way, that you need to abide by, or else she'll get very angry and will be accused of hurting people.
So come along with me, and together we can make the world a much better and safer place.
Okay. Nobody's strangling anybody. Nobody's strangling anybody, Tom. Nobody's strangling anybody. No mean thoughts about Lesbian Snow White. She's a nice person. Probably a nice person. She's probably kind to animals. There's probably a use for her to be on the earth. That's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Okay.
That's Daphne. Did you know Daphne loves going to the movies? Also, Daphne's favorite snack is dark chocolate. I think you would be great friends with Daphne. Daphne typically goes to the movies alone, but
So we're just saying Daphne because we can't use pronouns.
Yeah, you can't say her favorite food is
right.
dark
If we
chocolate.
say her, him, they, ze, or zer, Daphne could literally explode where she's standing.
Yeah, I mean, she could become suicidal because...
Instantaneously combust, and or just... If I say, Daphne loves going to the store and she gets a Reese's Pieces, she may douse herself with gasoline and completely self-immolate.
Well, yeah, it's literally violence if you refer to Daphne using a pronoun.
Okay.
I'm sure Daphne would love to go with you. And this is actually my first time that I've used no pronouns in sentences, so please correct me if I got anything wrong, and I will apply the corrections. And I actually sell No Pronouns Make Me Feel Comfy stickers, which you can find in the link in bio.
Okay. Excellent.
I'm going to put a No Pronouns Make Me Feel Comfy sticker on your dead body. So when they come to collect it, they know that the obituary just has to say Tom over and over.
Make sure that the rainbow festooned church service to Alice mentions this. That he was a man who had one principle only. Please do, actually. Why not? Screw it. Okay, so Kamala Harris, Alice, has barely a month after Biden said she'd be handling the border situation now. Mm-hmm. She is handling the situation, the border crisis, as we speak. There are kids stacked up right now who are using plastic bags for bathrooms. Mm-hmm. in some of them locked in tiny little isolated places, some in big cages stacked up where they don't get bathroom breaks and the facilities are totally overrun. There's
One tiny note, though, is that while they are stacked up and having to pee in plastic bags and are not able to see the sun for days at a time, they are actually not getting copies of Kamala Harris's picture book, as the New York Post reported. There was one copy that was donated along with a bunch of other books to the shelter, apparently, that somebody took a picture of. And the reporter at the New York Post who wrote this story tweeted last night an announcement. Today I handed in my resignation to my editors at the New York Post. The Kamala Harris story, an incorrect story I was ordered to write and which I failed to push back hard enough against, was my breaking point. So she is throwing the...
Was that a Post scoop, that story?
Yeah. So that was the New York Post scoop, and then a bunch of other places reported on it, and then it was subsequently fact-checked by your buddy Daniel Dale and some other people who said this isn't true. There's really only one Kamala Harris picture book at all the shelters. Somebody donated it amongst a bunch of books, and so then there was like radio silence from the Post for a while. Then they deleted the story, and then came this reporter saying she's resigning and throwing the leadership of the paper under the bus, saying they made her do it. So
I don't like you calling her, Alice.
I know it could be violence. I didn't ask what Laura Italiano's pronouns are, so when I refer to Laura Italiano, I guess I'll just have to say Laura Italiano every time.
So if you're on the left right now, and you saw this hit on Kamala Harris, and it first kind of upset you, and now you're angry that this was done, how's it feel? Now, multiply that by about 11,500, and you will know what it was like to be somebody during the Trump administration when false story after false story after false story after false story was put out there. Few retractions, few deletions, few resignations, and it just happened again and again and again. Right. This guy, from morning to night, this guy, the BS news stories kept a-coming, and the BS chyrons and the BS fact-checking, and it was ridiculous. And it caused, that's why the media is culpable for much of the division we have in this country, because it caused complete division, because a lot of people believe well-dressed people in well-lit TV
look
studios.
Look at the Covington Catholic story. Look at the fine people on both sides story. You could go on all day coming up with stuff that they reported on that turned out not to be true shortly after.
Oh yeah, starting with the bust of MLK in the White House, and to Trump saying that he found it hard to watch the Paralympics. And Jake Tapper saying the sitting president of the United States just said he literally finds it hard to watch the disabled Olympics. And all Trump said was, it's hard to watch, I don't have much time.
Right.
But nope.
Meanwhile, Barack Obama actually made fun of the Special Olympics, if you recall.
Yes, he did. Yes, I do recall that. And I also recall, that Joe Biden telling me that, that black people can't use computers. They don't know how to use the internet. Well, I don't want to get there. I don't want to. That's very...
Yeah. Sorry. Anyway, but in any case, regardless of her children's book, Kamala Harris is still in charge of the border, where there are still children stacked up on top of each other like sardines and plastic tents and aluminum foil blankets and everything else. And so far we don't have a lot of action on the 20,000 kids that are in government custody right now.
Right, so that's what's going on. So this is her fixing the border crisis, the problem at the border right now where the kids are stacked up. This consists of something that Donald Trump invented called the photo op. This shows her in something very much resembling the Oval Office at something very much resembling the Resolute desk, looking very presidential, on a conference call, with the president of Guatemala.
Right. And I'd just like to say I found this cut because leftists were sharing it on Twitter and saying how great it was that she was saying
slay
this.
queen.
Yes.
Okay, so remember, the crisis right now that we have to fix are human beings in Texas. Human beings in Texas is the conflagration.
Right.
That's where we need to be. So how are we fixing the human beings in Texas, Kamala Harris?
There are also long-standing issues that are often called the root causes of immigration. We are looking at the issue of poverty and the lack, therefore, of economic opportunities, the issue of extreme weather conditions and the lack of climate adaptation, as well as corruption and the lack of good governance, and violence against women, indigenous people, LGBTQ people, and Afro-descendants.
Good luck, kids. Hope you're comfy. You're going to be there for a while, because this is our magic fix, is to drone on about the many failings in the world of unwoke Guatemala. Right. That's right. You better fix your indigenous problems, the LGBT situation there, and yes, that'll fix everything. Exactly. Si se padre. We can do it together.
Mm-hmm. We're now the government of Guatemala, too. So.
Right. My only disappointment is that she didn't tie it back to the United States. They can't have all that bad stuff without us causing it. Or maybe that's in another cut. It probably is another cut. There's no way we did not self-flagellate for a good portion of this meeting.
Right. I mean, because they spend a lot of time telling us that, like, we're the most toxic, racist, misogynistic, anti-LGBTQ nation in the world. So how can it be that all the people are coming from Guatemala because they think Guatemala is not accepting enough of LGBTQ people, since we're the worst people on planet Earth?
Correct. So that's what's going on there. I don't expect that we'll see things getting very much better very soon, because they're not serious about it. They simply don't care. This is tonight is the
Tonight's the big speech.
Tonight's the how they're going to spend our money speech. What category is this?
This is his joint address to Congress. So this is everything.
Oh, the State of the Union. That's what this is.
Right. It's not called that because whatever. Right. But so they're also working on the American Families Plan, which is going to be after the American Rescue Plan. There's the American Jobs Plan, which is dead in the water as of right now. And then we're also adding the American Families Plan, which is also going to be dead in the water, which is going to involve like expanding child tax credits and stuff like that, free pre-K. All things like that. It's interesting, there have been a number of Republicans now who have put forward plans that are trying to sort of counter the this like Biden child tax credit stuff and the free pre-K stuff, in terms of they want to get ahead of being the pro-family party. A lot of the Republicans in the Senate do. So, for example, they tried to make an amendment to the American Rescue Plan that would have replaced this child tax credit with something more resembling one of their plans. So there's a bunch of different Republican plans that are being put forward right now while they're talking about this. Josh Hawley has one that's been praised a lot. Mitt Romney has one. Mike Lee and Marco Rubio have been working on one. So a lot of different plans that all involve, to various degrees, giving parents money for having children, whether that's through a tax credit. Josh Hawley's is interesting because it doesn't give a tax credit per child, but it gives you, the parent, a tax credit for every year that you have a child under age, I want to say 13. So,
having very irresponsibly had 4 kids, Alice, we like this, right?
Right. So any of these are good. So what's interesting is the Republican ones focus less on free pre-K, because a feeling on the right is more so that more parents probably would like to stay home with their children if they had the financial means to do so, and that's really healthy and great for kids to have a parent home if it's possible for the family to manage it financially. So they feel that free pre-K is kind of a step in the wrong direction, and that or not necessarily a step in the wrong direction, but it incentivizes moms working outside the home in a way that maybe they don't want to. Like, why are we handing cash to parents to send their kids to preschool, but the family that has the mom staying home, why are we not giving them money? So, like, how is that fair? The family where the mom's going to work, we're giving them money, but we're not giving money to the family where the mom is home. So the Republican plans all focus on giving money directly to the families, regardless of whether or not they have kids in pre-K and childcare, and they're focused on saying we're going to give the parents money whether they want to use it to send a kid to pre-K or they want to use it to be able to financially be better able to stay home. That's their major. That's, I would say, the major.
So I am Snow White fat guy. I want to have free money from the government again.
So we're about to get $1,000 a month from the government starting in July through December.
Okay. Oh my God, there's going to be inflation. I'm finally going to see what $1,000 looks like in a bank account when it's worth 4 cents.
Right. So we're going to have $1,000 a month for our 4 kids from the government starting in July. That's going to be
beers on me, everybody.
July through December, and then that expires. So
Whoa.
So
I want my $1,000 to not expire.
So the Biden American Families Plan, amongst all the other things it's going to do, is going to extend that until 2023, I want to say. So a couple more years.
We like more.
My sense is that once you start giving families monthly cash payments,
which we like,
it is very, very difficult.
It's patriotic, man.
Not to extend it.
It's patriotic, man.
So,
Alice, you know what?
But all all these.
You want to show me your morals?
Mm-hmm.
Show me your budget, okay, or something like that.
Okay.
And that's right. That's right. The Tom and Alice Shattuck welfare plan is a very smart, wise, and I think fiscally responsible way to just handing out all sorts of free money to everybody is great, which is one of the reasons why that nobody is returning to work. Retail and restaurants can't get people back in there because the government is now the biggest competition in the workforce.
Right. So also some of these Republican plans, which the Biden plan does not have a work requirement.
We don't want a work requirement.
Well, but it's a work requirement for at least one member of the family. So it's essentially you have even Mitt Romney's plan, which
in our family that would be the she.
In Mitt Romney's plan, even like the most aggressive one, I think you have to have like one parent working at least 20 hours a week in order to get the maximum money or something. It's not a very stringent work requirement, but they're all trying to incentivize families to have at least one parent bringing in some income in order to claim the maximum on the tax credit. So, what? Why am I loud now?
I don't know, but you were really soft a second ago.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Okay. Well,
maybe this board's having the end of its life. I mean,
maybe your kids are touching the board sometimes.
Yes.
Well, we'll check the audio when we get there.
We can boost it. It doesn't matter.
But anyway, I don't think any of these Biden plans is going to pass as is in one big chunk. I don't. I think that it's possible that you could get one of them on reconciliation if you get some major concessions from Manchin. That he will want to push them around because he's President Joe Manchin now.
Oh, I know why. Now talk.
Talk. What's wrong?
I don't know. Okay.
Well, anyway, so that's that. But yeah, his speech is supposed to be covering, I think, his first 100 days. I would expect to see the press gushing a lot about how amazing he is. This is going to be the speech of a lifetime, I would assume, like the inauguration was. And we're going to hear a lot about what a difference it is in how much we're being brought together and everything else.
It's not raining, is it?
Not yet, but there's supposed to be thunder around 6 p.m. So
well, I've got softball, Alice.
Mm-hmm.
I got to take off, okay, kid? You gonna be okay? Or you got anything else you want to clear up?
I think we have covered most things, unless you want to talk about the cheerleader.
No, we'll do that tomorrow. I couldn't find any audio of that, so we'll talk about that tomorrow. I'm on WTIC tomorrow, 1080 News Talk 1080, and Alice is going to the warehouse tonight.
Yeah.
And
I'm going to church tomorrow. It's Holy Thursday. Yes.
Oh, okay. And what am I doing? When is that?
That's tomorrow morning. The two little kids are going to be at their school, and me and the two older kids are going.
Okay. You going to need me to do anything?
Nope.
Okay. So I'll be on the air tomorrow, and then Substack came out tonight, and then there will be another one in a day or two.
Thanks so much for listening, guys. As always, this is Alice Shattuck and Tom Shattuck. We're on Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel. You can follow us on Twitter at Burn Barrel Pod or at Facebook.com/Burn Barrel Podcast. We're also at BurnBarrelPodcast.com and on Gab and Parler at Burn Barrel Podcast. We have an email address, burnbarrelpodcast@gmail.com, and a YouTube channel as well. So that's Tom Shattuck's Burn Barrel on YouTube. You can like, subscribe, comment, all those good things.
C'est la vie.